Mike, welcome. Good to have you with us here. You got 7 games against the Yankees here, whatever it might be in the next couple weeks. This is where sometimes you like the schedule a little bit better later in September. You're playing the last 3 games of the year, but you love to have 7 against the Yankees. But you take it when you get them. Here come New York now, early in the season for 4. Let me get your thoughts on that first. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're looking forward to playing the Yankees and playing this series here at home in Camden Yards. I think they look really good this year. Obviously, the Yankees are in first place right now, but it seems like a really good team to them. And I know our guys are champing at the bit to square off with them. It should be a really exciting 4-game series here at Camden Yards, and I hope it's really good baseball.
All right, ERA, bullpen. Mike, let's talk about the first 27. Bullpen ERA, you can fix it. It can get better, but it is 5.36. That is not sustainable, as the season moves along if you want to win the division. But again, it's 27 games, your closing situation too. Thoughts there? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think in the front office, we keep an eye on trends and everything. And, we try to take a long view, and in the ebbs and flows and waves of a baseball season, it can be easy to get caught up in the emotion, but we're obviously looking at ways to improve the team, keeping an eye on what we expect we'll be doing at the trade deadline this summer, which is looking to improve the team. And, this is an area that we're going to be focused on as we look along. But, every team, no matter how good, is always looking for pitching upgrades and bullpen upgrades in specific. And, it's not an easy thing to do or get your hands on. And we've got a really talented coaching staff that has done a good job getting a lot out of players that have come in very small acquisitions for the most part. And we've got a lot of talent in that pitching staff and that bullpen. We've got some starters and a reliever in CNL Perez getting healthy this week. And I think it's going to help bolster this staff.
And no way Batista this year, right, Mike? You can't count on him at all, even in the month of September. Is that correct?
He's going to miss 2024, the entirety of it, but his rehab's going really well, and he's going to be back into form next year.
All right, that's number 2. Number 3, it was the right call. Everybody screamed and yelled at you at spring training, but as it turns out, it was the right decision. That's a big hiccup for Holiday. Came up here and he was overmatched, 17 strikeouts, whatever it was, 34 at-bats. He's a young kid, so, but still, it's a bump in the road. How do you think he's going to handle it being sent down?
Well, I'm very confident how he's going to handle it, and my hope is that this was a productive experience for him to get a glimpse of the major leagues after not really experiencing any failure in the minors or as an amateur. This might be the first time in his baseball life that he went through a cold stretch like this, and it happened at the major league level at age 20, at a time when American high school kids are not getting to the majors that quickly very often. So at the big picture, Jackson is doing exceptionally well. He was drafted less than 2 years ago out of high school. This is a very exciting talent, not just for the Orioles, but for the sport. We had a tough call on whether or not he was fully ready for the Major League Challenge, and obviously kind of went back and forth on that a little bit, which isn't ideal, but it was a tough decision, and one that there wasn't a lot of a playbook for because he's such a unique case. And, for now, he's going back to AAA to make some adjustments based on the feedback that he and we got with him at the major league level. But long term, this is an enormous part of our future, and we also think he's going to be an enormous part of the 2024 Orioles.
Was he trying too hard? What was the problem with the 33 at-bats?
Well, I don't know if I'm going to jump into diagnostics here. He's a great player, and he was doing everything asked of him, and that included storming through the minor leagues. And we're the ones that tell him where and when to go play. And, we told him to come up to the major league level, and he got to see it. Played really good defense at second base, despite a position change that we've asked him to do too. So we're asking a lot of this kid right now, and he's really ahead of the curve. And for now, he's got some work to put in at AAA, but we're really hopeful to get him back here soon. And, there's a place for him on this team, and we're counting on him.
Grayson Rodriguez, you did that last year with him, and it worked, so I don't see why this wouldn't work either. Burnes has been wonderful. We all knew he had, get him on a team that can score some runs. He'd really adjust properly. He's a big pitcher. You got an ace top of the rotation. Give me some thoughts with him, what you've seen so far. Go ahead.
Yeah, he's been what the doctor ordered. I mean, we made a major trade for him over the winter and gave up a lot. And we wanted his talent and his innings and the stability that he would provide to the rotation, but also the impact that he provides as a #1 starter. And he has been extremely workmanlike this season. It's been nothing but really high quality starts so far. I think we're 5-1 in the games that he's started. Could easily be 6-0. And, you look around the league right now, and there's an argument to be made that he's the top starting pitcher right now in terms of results and also in talent on a going forward basis the rest of the season. So we're just thrilled to have Corbin. I think it's enormous. I'm glad that our rotation's also getting some reinforcements here. We're expecting John Means and Kyle Bradish back very soon. So if we can keep all these guys on the field healthy together, I really like the way our rotation looks for the rest of the season.
100%. Those two are not too far away. Listen, you got new ownership, so I think it's a fair question. You got a lot of young players, and you've seen other teams do it. Obviously, Kansas City with Bobby Witt. Is there any, I don't know, is there any feeling that maybe this may not be a bad time to at least discuss with the players' agency, whoever that might be, about a long-term commitment to the franchise? Have you thought about that? I'm sure you've thought about it. Are you closer to making that decision with any of one of your 5 or 6 guys that you could lock up long-term, and Oriole fans would like that? Let me hear.
Yeah, Chris, my answer to this question is about as entertaining and informative as that brick wall behind me. But I don't like to get out talking about this topic. This isn't something that I can just point and shoot and do all by myself. It's a back and forth with agents and players, and it's complicated and it's difficult. And it's important to me that people that I do business with know that I'm not going to be putting stuff out in the public space about our efforts or lack of efforts on this front. So obviously it's something you look at our team right now, we've got a wonderful group of young players. Anybody who likes the Orioles and likes these players would look and go, boy, I wish we could have some of these guys a little bit longer than what the current status is. And, these are things that we work on behind the scenes and take a look at. And, certainly the energy provided by this ownership change and this new group that is very robust and very local, I think will give us all the resources possible towards exploring those things. But we're going to do the best that we can.
Well, that's a perfect answer. The young Randall Burnes is going to be one you're going to have to answer a little quicker, but we all know that will be tricky. We keep an eye on that. All right, how about the Orioles? The bullseye on their back. The idea that we all saw him last year. He had that wonderful year, won 101 games. Maybe he got a little stale. Texas was hot. Who knows? We'll throw that one away. What do you think the team learned from that as far as that they can apply to this 2024 season? The great year and then the bad disappointment with Texas with the sweep. Not that it was a bad disappointment, but the flat ending. How about that?
I hope it was a confidence booster, first and foremost, to have the regular season that we did. And then the punch in the mouth in the playoffs, I felt like kept the group hungry. And the group came into spring training really focused and really serious. And they seemed really happy to be back together. And, it hasn't been a perfect April, but by and large, we've gotten off to a good start this season. So I think all indications are this team has picked up where it left off despite the abrupt and rough playoff exit versus the Rangers. But we do have a much more of a target on our back this season. I don't think it's done anything but keep our guys sharp, and you welcome that stuff. And this is we're in the American League East. We're one of the smaller markets and definitely in our division. And this team has had that mentality since its inception. And I think we're getting better and better just as this core group gains in age and experience, and those playoff experiences are part of that.
Do you take anything out of this? A baseball question. Did you take anything out of the idea that the 3 teams that won 100 games last year and won the division lost in the first round of the playoffs? Braves, Dodgers, and you guys.
I don't personally, I don't have a big opinion on the layoff before the playoffs. And, we want to win the division, and it's really important to win the division. And I think it would, we play 162 games. That's a lot. And you pour a lot into that. And it would be nice to not have it be real random once it gets to the playoffs. And I know that this is always an ongoing conversation, but I can tell you with this current format, we're hell bent on doing whatever we can to win the division. So that probably says all I need to say from my chair.
Well, that's important. You could make an argument that layoff, they could try to, I don't know what they could do. You got to get these wild card games in. All right, how about the Yankees with Soto? Much better offensive team. I'm sure you've taken a look at them. Give me a little thought process about the Yankee offense as you play them here 7 times in the next 2-3 weeks. Let me hear.
Well, not only do they look like a really strong team to me, but they're playing great too. So they're coming in here hot and with a lot of confidence, and it's going to be tough. And, Juan Soto, that's one of the best hitters I've ever laid eyes on in my life. And having him in the middle of that order from the left side, it's certainly a big shot in the arm for those guys. And, not looking forward to facing Juan Soto here in Camden Yards. I think it's going to be a really good baseball series.
Looking forward to it, and always a pleasure to talk to you, Mike. Thanks for hanging in there. Appreciate it very much. Keep in touch. Good luck.
Thank you.